Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. This is huge. When was the last time you did something for yourself that you said, okay, I'm going to work on being happy on purpose? Not because of something else that happened, not because of outside sources, but because you chose to be happy. This is a really, really big deal. It's a really big deal. And so, what I want to talk about here is some of the things that you can do in terms of automating your systems, right? First, it starts with the big things like automating your morning routine or automating your evening routine or automating every routine that you do, because then you can save time to upgrade and work on doing your other routines that you need to make decisions for. And again, go check out that book, Catherine Jones. You're not going to be disappointed. The book is great. It's funny. She makes you laugh through it. You're in a good state as you read it, and you're going to get something really great out of it. So go read it. Like I said, it won't take too long if you're a quick reader. If you're a slow reader like me, then maybe it'll take you, a couple hours, something like that. So I think you'll be able to get through it, and I think you're going to love it. But let's talk about some of these anchors. Let's talk about this virus. Well, what is the virus that you might have, essentially, that you need to clean out? And it's that you might actually be running emotional systems that maybe were installed for you as a child. Maybe you installed accidentally along the way. But if nobody taught you how to manage, control, and execute your emotions, then why would you know that they needed to be upgraded or adjusted or changed out? Why would you know that? You really wouldn't know. And that's the key, is that you have to start thinking about upgrading your emotional operating system, how to manage your emotions, how to control your emotions, and how to execute your emotions. And with that, and with this idea, you can upgrade your emotional education. Right. And with education, you need emotional education, you need emotional intelligence, and you need to be working on emotional mastery. Well, how do you do that? That's all fine and good, but if they didn't teach it to us in school, what do we do? How do we do that? Well, there's a ton of ways. I mean, honestly, I dig this stuff. In case you can't tell, I like the subject. I think it's fun, and I think I enjoy teaching people about it. I enjoy learning about it. I am the guy that's in the background going, "Ooh, a belief system. Let's learn how to do that." And we can learn to program ourselves, just like programming a computer, programming a website, programming anything. You can program your dog to sit up on its hind legs and ask for a treat. For goodness sake, you can program your mind. I don't remember who it was. I'd have to look back. Maybe one of you know who said this, but somebody got on the case of personal development expert, and they were talking about brainwashing. And somebody said, "I don't want to be brainwashed. How dare you think that? I'm not going to let anybody brainwash me." And the personal development expert replied, "You wash your body, you wash your car, you wash your dishes, you wash the mirror, you wash everything. And as you go through and you wash everything in your life, you wash your teeth, you wash your hair, you wash everything. Why would you not wash your mind? Because you know what? There are things getting in to your mind. There are things that are getting in on a regular basis if you're not standing guard to the door of your mind and therefore your soul. Then what could you end up with? Well, you could end up with a whole lot of yikes. Which, if you look around the world and all you have to do is scroll around on social media for a little bit, and you're going to see a whole lot of yikes, right? Because we need some upgrades to our emotional operating system. And I know that sounds maybe daunting, but guys, it's not hugely daunting. It's not this overwhelming thing. You can do it pieces and parts at a time. And if you had control over your emotions and you could manage them a little bit better, then you'd be well on your way to emotional mastery. This is huge. This is a really big deal because emotional mastery isn't something you attain, it's a journey that you go on, right? All right, so let's talk about some practical, maybe applications that this has, these anchors, these routines that you have. Let's talk about what it is that you can start to think about in terms of what needs to be operated. Because if you have a process that you go through for brushing your teeth every morning, if you get out of that routine, it's so easy to forget to brush your teeth. And I know that sounds funny, but you get in a habit and you get into those modes where you have a routine that you do and you do it in that way. And when you get broken out of that mode, things get a little challenging. And sometimes it's easy to forget one of the 50 things you have to do in that process. And that's huge, right? So we have our body language. And this is a big deal, right? Because if I sit here like this and I talk to you like this, how inspiring is that? Nobody wants to listen to me talk like this. And if I change my voice, this is bad, right? But if I am talking to you here, I know sometimes I get a little excited. And so sometimes people get a little like, whoa, what's going on, right? But if you can manage your body language, remember, I have a ballroom dance background. And as a ballroom dancer, and training ballroom dancers and performing artists and other people, as we learn to use our body better, we can learn to use our mind better, and therefore we can learn to use our soul better. And this is huge, right? So our body language as dancers, and having trained dancers, we train our dancers to tell a story through their body language. Well, guess what? It's not just for the performing arts. We tell stories to the people surrounding us every day. We tell stories to ourselves every day. And sometimes your stories suck. I'm sorry, but they do, right? And so we got to work on our stories. But first, we got to work on our body language, because our body language tells us how to be, tells us how to act. It tells us to run programs. And so maybe there's a virus in your body language program. And this is a big deal, because if you run this program and you wonder why you're not happy all the time, it's a big deal. You see, there's this phenomenon that happens when I work with dancers. They come into the studio and they're excited for a lesson, and they change their posture and they stand up straight and they go, okay, teach me. And they get into this great state. Now, what if we taught that to our children for school? Get in a great state, get in a peak state, and take your body into a place where it can learn and get excited, right? Because we've got to get rid of this in school, right? Now, some of the schools are making progress, right? They're getting taller desks and they're making the kids sit on stools. And so it's a little harder to slouch over like in those old desks that we all used to be crammed into. And you sit in this desk and it's the least comfortable thing on the planet, right? But body language is huge. Now, what is your body saying to you? And what is your body saying to everybody else? Because how they interpret your body also determines how they respond to you. So if you come in and you're like, every time you talk to somebody, they start to respond to you that way. They start to get in that same way and mode with you. And that's a challenge, right? Because now you're wondering, why is everybody treating me this way? Well, maybe it came from you. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that could be one of those viruses. Now, here's another one that you should think about. What about other people's body language? How are you allowing yourself to respond to other people's body language? This is huge, as I've done and worked with many couples in coaching and trying to help their relationships. Sometimes they let the other person's body language determine how they're going to feel. See, in our lifer creed that I believe in, the Magic for Life tribe, right? We have a lifer's creed, and in it, it says, nobody can make me feel anything. If I had a bad day, I deserve the credit. If I have a good day, I deserve the credit. But nobody, get it? Nobody can make me feel anything. This is huge, right? Nobody can make me feel anything. So outside, when you look outside yourself and you interpret what's coming in, we've got to actually put up our defenses to our mind, body, and soul and say, I'm not going to allow other bodies to make me feel anything, because I'm going to interpret it. I'm going to decide how I want to feel. This is huge. This is one of those viruses, because how many times have we allowed ourselves, we're all guilty. How many times have we allowed ourselves to feel a way? Well, we've felt a way because of something else or somebody else or something else. And that's rough. Nobody can make us feel anything. You have the ability to do this, and it might take an adjustment in your routine of your body, of how you work, of catching yourself, of having some accountability, a coach, somebody telling you, hey, do you know you're standing like this? Do you know your head's down? Do you know that you have put yourself into a routine that runs an emotional operating system that maybe you lost control of ages ago? Or maybe you have parts of control, right? But that's body. So you have how your body's talking to you, how your body's talking to everybody else, and how everybody else's body is talking to you. And you've got to learn to manage that. That's one area. Let's talk about the mind for a second. So we're going to move into this next phase. Let's talk about the mind and the mental language that we use. Now, the same thing applies, and this is really cool. The same thing applies. How do you talk to yourself? You have a language. Maybe you have multiple languages. I only have one. Someday I'll learn some of the others. It's on my bucket list, right? But you have one. You have self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Are you mean? Are you nice? Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you frustrated? Are you stressed? How do you talk to yourself? This is important. Maybe you got to look into it. Maybe you got to figure it out, right? How do you talk to yourself? The quality of your communication is the quality of your life, said by the great Anthony Robbins. This is so true. The quality of your communication is indeed the quality of your life. And we have to start to learn to talk nicer to ourselves. And that maybe is easier said than done, but it's a start. Next time you catch yourself saying something mean to you, pause. Interrupt the pattern and say something beautiful to yourself. You know, that moment, we've all done it. We all say it. You do something that you're not happy with, or you made a mistake. And you say to yourself, oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Pause. Take a moment and say, nope, that was just a mistake. That's it. It was just a mistake. And I can do it again. And I'm not stupid. I really just had a mistake. And that's it. Right? Because you are not stupid. We all have something to learn. We all have something to gain. We all have something more to add to ourselves as we go through the growth that we need to attain and that we need to go through so that we can actually help others grow. But you must put the oxygen mask on yourself, and it starts with your language to yourself, because the quality of your communication is indeed the quality of your life. And so I ask you to get in and get involved with how you're speaking to yourself. Stop being so mean. Happiness is a choice. Sadness is a choice. All emotions are a choice. Sometimes doing our emotions doesn't seem like it's our choice, but it is. You have control. You are the captain of your ship, and you must learn how to be the best captain you can be. Let me show you how. Pick up your free copy of my new book, Every Minute, at everyminutebook.com.